Damn, homie. What the fuck? You know what? Shit. I'm listening to Hey, Dot.
Zaya Ford, you got Rabbi Matthews, you got Wentworth, you got tons of brothers back then that what I would say is that as the early 1900s was coming around and black people was looking for an identity, the one thing we did know is that black people had to come together. You understand? Like, what's the cat they killed when he started killing the white man in slavery? I forget his name. They made the movie about it. Nat Turner. Like, Nat Turner should have got, that movie should have got more play than that Wakanda bullshit. Like, we love that fantasy more than we love reality. Let me give another sidebar, right? Y'all know how we get the white man to kiss our feet, right? Y'all know World Star. Now, on World Star, you can see the most wild shit you could think of. You can see a black man fighting black man, beating up a black woman, all type of nonsense. They put our video up. The brother, shout out to I was just in Houston, Texas. Them brothers down there is excellent. Taught the class and everything. They had a white man washing their feet on the street. Had a white man washing their feet. Got a boot kiss in Walmart. Get a boot kiss. Big up to Officer Yatazak and all them brothers down there. World Star puts the video on there. You know what they called that shit? The most ignorant thing you can see. They called it ignorant. And the heavy part about them calling it ignorant, they calling it ignorant because we got white people kissing our feet. But if you got two niggas fighting each other, that ain't ignorant. If you got the black woman in the club, you know, they be in the IHOP having rumbles and all that's cool. But to get a white man on their knees, that's an atrocity. You know what I mean? But back to my point, I ain't the one to call to see who's the best. Like the comparison you was talking about, that ain't me. If you want to say Commander Jenny Hanna ain't shit, Tazaryak ain't shit, IHBK ain't shit, I don't care. It's not going to stop what I do or anything like that. But for them brothers back then, Nat Turner, Marcus Garvey, all of them men, what they knew is that we was black. The white man was the enemy. Some of them did. Some of them wanted to be joined to him. And it was almost like an infant stage. So I don't really be getting mad at, like, when Marcus Garvey starting Red, Black, and Green. I don't get mad at him because he didn't have the full knowledge that we was Israelites and Red, Black, and Green is not the same. What I get mad at is those that come along now and want to be Red, Black, and Green in Israel. So no, I don't knock Marcus. I don't knock Rabbi. Yes. Because those are African colors. That's their culture.
No, that's the meaning of it. You gotta.
It doesn't matter. No, hold on 1 second.
No, it do.
Here's why I'm saying it don't matter. We are not to mix with no other culture but our own. So it could mean peace, tranquility, everybody. It could mean anything. You look at that goddamn Caesar Borgia white boy, you know what they're going to say? This means peace.
Captain, hold on, brother. You don't see that is the biggest problem right now because you don't want to mix with other people or you don't with the culture.
everybody gets mad because Chinese people don't want to mix, or Arabs don't want to mix. But that's our problem. When we say, wait, no. I will deal with any black or Hispanic brother anywhere.
Right, that's the point I'm making.
But I'm not dealing with any different culture because my culture says we are not supposed to. And all we're doing, like this is the one culture that we're saying is ours. Nobody.
You said Judah was in Africa.
I said Judah was in, like we was in Africa. That's why you get it mad.
They never mixed with nobody.
Mix how? Like as far as dealing with them?
Yeah.
Like have sex with? I'm not saying that.
All right, so what you talking about?
We're talking about cultures. I'm not talking about brothers making mistakes and sleeping with some African women. Hell yeah. So, yeah.
Wait. Mixing with the Kemetic brothers?
I'm not saying that. I didn't say that they not doing. I'm saying it's a mistake though. If a brother sleeps with a white woman, is that a mistake or is that right?
That was a dead mistake.
Okay, so sleeping with an African is the same mistake. Right. Sleeping with a Chinese is the same mistake. An Arab, the same mistake. We think Nicki Minaj black, her daddy East Indian. That was a mistake by her mother. We think Bob Marley black to this day. But I don't care who goes with it.
Oh, no more?
I don't want sidebar. We think Bob Marley black when he's white. That was his mama's mistake. So if it's a mistake if you sleep with a white man who's another nation, why is it now not a mistake if we say the same thing? Don't matter. White man been in Africa for the same amount of time as we've been in there. But their rules don't apply. The same amount of time, meaning like what I mean is don't.
The white man been in Africa the same amount.
Yeah, don't get. Yeah, he get the point I'm trying to make. You're trying to be technical. The point I'm trying to make is the African man has. Hey, what's going on, man? How you been?
Good seeing you.
Good seeing you too. The white man been in Africa for at least, let's say for the sake of argument, 2,500 years. But when he separates himself and understands that dichotomy, everybody gets it. But black people don't get that. But the Africans do. That's the fucked up part. The Africans totally know that the blacks in America are not the same as them.
Let me ask you this, sorry.
But I don't want to stay on this too long. You gotta get it.
All right. So during the transatlantic slave trade, was it just Judah took in, or did they take Africans too?
I wouldn't necessarily say it was only Judah took in, because sometimes in context Judah could encompass more than one tribe. But I would say it was only Israelites that went into slavery. Yeah, it was only Israelites in slavery.
Only Israelites.
Yeah, that's it.
No Africans.
When you do the history, man, you'll see them. Like it wasn't like it wasn't a chaotic event. Slavery was not a chaotic event. It was a very organized event.
The Africans. Hold on, so I can pick you up. You're saying that the Africans coupled up with the white man to enslave the Israelites.
Absolutely. That's absolutely what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Nah, nope. That's what I'm saying. It was not a chaotic event. Like we look at slavery like they just, because y'all see the roots and y'all see them running in the field and they grabbing them and snatching them. It was a very organized, structured event. That's why you can always look up the companies that was established with slavery and find out all the billionaires that they made was off of slave money. Insurance companies were started. They took cargo. They took names of slaves. They did all of that. So you may look at slave names and see an African name, no different than we're out here with American names, so to speak. Israelites.
Brother, you'll be a powerful brother, man. If only you would study some history. Put some history in your life, Captain. Because you got to come outside of the Bible, brother. The Bible is the not all be all. You see? So this is why people ain't gonna respect the information. Only ones that's gonna respect and love you is brothers like me, because I understand you. I know what happened to us as a people. And then you're gonna have the Hebrews that's gonna love you, because you representing the Hebrew nation. But you got to study history. Hold on. You act like history is kryptonite to you, brother. Like kryptonite is to Superman, history is that kryptonite to the Hebrew Israelites. Y'all don't want to study no history. You think all I need is the Bible, and that's it. That's the biggest problem.
That's what I got you. We did a class on this a couple weeks ago, General Hyman, where he showed how the Ashanti tribe, for an example, were one of the tribes that meticulously knew who they were selling. I'll send you the link to the class if you want to see it. When y'all saying we don't study history, that's a lie. When y'all say I don't like history, that's a lie. Only thing I say about history is selective to whoever's writing it. If you take Egypt, for example, when they wanted to get rid of Queen Hatshepsut's records, they altered and wrote whatever they want. So even though I'm not saying it to be right or wrong,
It's like selected to
whoever is writing it.
The Bible is selected.
No, the one thing, here's how you know the Bible is not selective to who's writing it, because our wickedness is more so in it than our righteousness. Like, it shows the good, the bad, the Bible shows the absolute everything about Israel. The most horrible things we've done and the greatest things we've done. So it's not selective. But if you go on the walls about Queen Hatshepsut, the Pharaoh that came after her because they didn't like her when she was ruling, totally changed the records. So when you look at the walls, that's not accurate. American history, how many times do we know
Where you get that from?
all you gotta do is look it up. Y'all talk about, y'all say, you should know it since you say I don't study history though. Okay, but you saying I don't study history, but I know that. That's why when I brought it up to Reggie,
He's a comedic scholar.
no, I'm not a comedic scholar. But when I brought it up to Reggie agreed. It's on video. It's on the tape that you put out when I brought it up. Thank you. So it's true. So now, you take American history. What American history do y'all believe? Everything in American history, when you find out the truth, it's a lie. So when y'all say I have a problem with history, I have a problem with believing that it's 100%. And you can find something else. But one second before you say that. When you say I'll be a powerful brother, I'm gonna say this. This is the only time I say it. I'm already powerful. Period. This chain.
You'll be even.
No. When I go around this country, when I went to Israel, right? Brothers that are not Israelites, that come from Kemetic, 5%er, whatever it is that you want to come and commend me for the work that I do. With me saying we're not African, me not feeding a little boy, me saying we gotta separate. With everything that I have done since I have encountered y'all, I still am a powerful brother because I stand on one basic principle. Without black unity, we'll fail. Without structure, without law and order, we'll fail. We can't be concerned with what's going on a whole nother goddamn continent when we can't fix Harlem, Brooklyn, Jersey City, etc. like that. So when we can conquer that, then we can say we could branch off. That's why the white man could check outer space out. He could measure the deep depths of the sea. He could do all that bullshit. You know why he could do that? Because he got his own land. He got a nation. He got a military. You know how he got that? He didn't want to be nothing but white. We want to be every damn thing except black. And that's our problem. And that's why I am powerful. And that's why I get the respect. Because when people look at me, they don't see bullshit. Whether they disagree or agree, they see 100% genuine brother that believes everything that he says.
May I?
Period.
And of course, I mean, to observe you, Brother Captain Tazariot, who could not concur with that? Now, you've been on your square, you are constantly putting in that kind of time and that kind of effort, but I dare say that you would garner the same level of respect if you apply that same kind of commitment to Islam, to more Orthodox Christianity, because of your level of commitment. I would only say one thing, and not even open up the can of worms again, but like you said, unity, correct? Isn't that one of the very high priorities?
Well, not just unity, but coming together. Like, we can unify. We unified now.
Okay.
But when we separate, who's gonna contact me and say, let's do this?
Okay.
Excuse me for one
Okay, sure.
You know what I mean? So like that's what
All right, so, well, okay, and then the classification of African and how that name was gotten, but there are large numbers of people on the planet that classify themselves as African, that share a similar hue and multiple hues, the origin of humanity. And I do respect for you to say, I still stand on, I wouldn't feed a young African, as if that's something you want to make sure you don't want us to ever forget. And there are those who self-identify as African. And no matter whose philosophy comes forward, I don't see that shifting. So in your unity, or the unity that you see, and again, we've rehashed this before, but if you want to, just for those who are just coming into your awareness and just finding out about you, how do you bring that to bear?
Because like unity, we got to be careful when we talk about unity, right? Unity is like you come together to an event or something like that, you know, you unify then. But if you want to talk about different cultures, in my time in the conscious community, I don't see no unity there from none of them. And I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the people, like, okay, in that conscious community, I'm not a part of it. I just run the shit. I run that shit like Jesse Owens. I run it. Anyway.
Well,
But in that, wait, hold on, let me, so like, in the conscious community, you have men that are looked at, and women, you have men and women in the conscious community that are looked at as pillars of that community. And they're full of shit. They're not unified. They can't sit in the room without ego swinging.
I agree 100%.
You know what I mean? So, but here's the difference. You come into ISUPK, no matter what your position is, your role is, we like a damn well-oiled machine.
Okay.
We all just a cog. We a cog. You put yourself in that cog and you just run. There's a certain way it gotta run. It gotta run this way. It can't run this way. It can't go up. It can't go down. It gotta go one way. So
I just got one question.
what I attribute that to is what we're guided by. We live by. Like, we ain't just saying be an Israelite, be an Israelite. Like cats say we gotta be Kemetic, be Kemetic, be Kemetic. I don't never see no law structure ever coming out of any of these scholars' mouth about what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. I don't see them speaking out against drug dealing, drug using, outside of irritated genie, child molestation. I don't see none of these cats. All of them are worried about me, Prospect, another Israelite. Did Jesus exist? We waste all our time on garbage.
One question, Captain Cesar.
Because they're not sincere in the first place. Like those men in the conscious. Say again? Because they're not sincere in the first place. Get that on record. Let me finish. Don't just stop. Listen, what you could do. Okay, then hold your peace. Hold your peace, and then you can talk when I'm finished.
That's all I wanted.
You can always respond as soon as you get the mic. I don't care what you say. Nobody in that conscious community, them leaders, none of them are sincere. This is Captain Tazar Yacht, ranked 13,000 ISUPK. I said it. None of y'all are sincere. If y'all want to prove me wrong, teach something other than being against the Bible, being against a Moor, being against a Muslim, being against any of that. When we do our radio show Cross the Line, if they ain't a guest on there, we're talking about what can fix us. My brothers down there on that street is talking about what can fix us. None of them are doing that. The only thing they'll talk about is some tax shit, clean up your credit. Yeah, brothers got to get their credit fixed and all that other old bullshit too. Say it again.
Now we're going to get off this.
No, we not. But none of them, who actually comes out here and says, brothers and sisters, we got to do X, Y, Z. We don't do that.
Got a question. Let's go.
You understand?
Let's go back and forth. We come out here and make speeches. So now I would only say
what about you?
No, I know that, but which is true. And I'm about to go, but I will. But no, of course not. But I will leave this, and okay, I will leave this, and I will depart. Good brother, okay. Now, why would you say that?
Because you interrupted the whole flow. Like even in the back and forth, when you talk, I didn't interrupt you. But as soon as I talk, you interrupt me.
Because you
mad because I'm interrupting.
Okay, all right.
Don't turn me on.
Okay. Well, all right. So address this, brother Captain, and I've constantly sung your praises because I see your work. But you make this, and I don't. This is the part I don't like to do. But I'm only touch the surface of it because whenever our enemies have us cross-examining and critiquing each other's team, we two black teams, man. Okay, you may not like our player, our forward, our center. Y'all lost 4 seasons in a row. We still on a part of the same team. I think we want to see black people rise, man. You speak about sincerity. If you're sincere about having black people rise, then you reach out to your people. Not always beating them down. Now look all you Kemetic niggas. Look at y'all. Y'all fight. Y'all ain't nothing. Y'all look at y'all. Y'all ain't unified. Look at us. Now that's the projection I get. Maybe some others get it, maybe not. But now let me look at the Israelite philosophy, the whole philosophy, man. You know how many of y'all got out here claiming that claiming the tribes, man? Do we have to sift through some of the innuendos and all that nonsense so our enemy can tune into this and see two of our strongest brothers from our communities going at each other? I gotta put down your camp. You gotta get up and show you better than my camp. And he gunning both of us down. So that's all I'm saying. And we do got a lot of stuff going on among us. You're right, man. We do got a clean house. Your critique is accurate.
Right.
But do you gotta make us less than? Aren't we still your brother, man? Aren't you still your brother? You had this beautiful event at Marcus Garvey Park. You call the whole they feed the community. I know these guys work, and I think I know some of your heart through your actions, man. All I say is, we all are flawed, man. None of y'all are sincere. Ain't nobody in the conscious community is sincere. Discipline, I'm going on. He hasn't said a word. So I would do no less than allow him to respond to every single thing I say, and I will not say a word. And good brother, I say every word I say in respect. I respect you. I love you. You are my brother. So whatever rebuttal you have, I will quietly receive.
And I stand on that because they don't give a damn about the people if they're not making a dollar, or it's always about some. Like when I'm making that statement, right? I'm making that statement and I'm proving it by what is observed. Observe me, like you said. We do events, we do speakings. The only man that I'm going to separate is Irritated Genie. That's the only one I'm going to separate. Everybody else, I have never seen them do anything that's really pro-black people. Talking against the Bible, talking against, even us, if we're spending all our time talking against Kemet, we ain't shit either, but we don't do that. The other Israelites that you're talking about that's not ISUBK is all, who from the conscious community is talking about structure and order. All they do is bitch at each other. When you turn that shit on, SETI talking about this one all day. Then Pharaoh talking about this one. Sinetta talking about this one. Polite talking, that's all y'all do in that conscious community. Y'all the leaders. Y'all the leaders. I ain't talking about the people. You know who's suffering? They are. They suffering because all they get to do is see y'all bullshit. So now all they see is, let me finish. All they see is the bullshit bickering back and forth. This one accused of that one. This one accused of that one. When do y'all come together and it's not for a self-serving purpose? A self-serving. The self-serving purpose is this benefits me, so I'll do it. But if I got to sacrifice, I'm not doing that. We sacrifice our lives. My slavery allows me to travel to different states. And what I do when I go to them states, I link up with my brothers in those states. I teach class, go to camp, go in the streets. If I don't get no sleep, so be it. I ain't getting no sleep Wednesday. I taught all day Tuesday, went to my slavery, had to work all day. And I'll do it again. Came by, just got back at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm on the street now. That's a sacrifice. Nobody is doing that. From the leaders are not doing it. Y'all are a fucked up example of what black men are supposed to be given to the people. That's why we say ISUBK is the home of the truth, because you're not going to come here and be evil. You are forced to be a brother. You are forced to be a sister. There is no compromise with that. That's why we ain't molesting. We ain't going to jail. We ain't selling drugs. We ain't getting high. We ain't doing none of them things that all of us at one time were doing.
All right, Captain.